good? What is good, everybody? It's your boy Cam. I know it's been quite a while, maybe about 2 weeks since I've done my podcasting, and I honestly had took a break from it to do some other things, and I just haven't been doing as much ever since the Maverick season has ended. They had in a very tough loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, but there's a lot going on right now. And this may help recover from the Luka Doncic trade. And there's just been so much going on and with Dallas sports. Last night was the NBA draft lottery. We were predicted to be the 11th pick. But you know what happened last night? Guess freaking what? The Mavericks landed the number one draft pick. What? What? The Dallas Mavericks got the number one draft pick? Really? Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. That is crazy. That is freaking crazy. And I didn't watch the NBA draft lottery last night. Last night I was at yoga class, and then that went really well. And then once I got out of yoga class, I had 3 people blowing up my phone that the Mavericks got the number one draft pick, and I'm just like, what? Wow. So it looks like the Mavericks are going to be drafting Cooper Flag, and honestly, I think drafting Cooper Flag is the best thing that has the Mavericks ever done. And I think drafting Cooper Flag may help recover from the Luka Doncic trade. I think this trade will help recover from it. And I hate to say this, and I'm going to have to say this. I might have to take everything back what I said about Nico. Maybe. And I think Mavericks fans are doing that as well. I think they might take everything back what they said about Nico. And once Dallas officially drafts Cooper Flag, they're not firing Nico anytime soon. It's just he's not going anywhere. He ain't going nowhere for quite a while. But my only concern about going to next season, can the Mavericks stay healthy? That's my number one issue about next year's season. Can the team stay healthy? And hopefully we don't have to deal with as many injuries going to next year in the future. And another big news is that Nico Harrison actually fired the whole entire training staff. And I'm surprised about that. Kinda. I didn't think he'll fire the whole staff. I just knew that well, first I thought the head trainer, he just fired the head trainer. That's what I thought at first. But no, he fired the whole entire training staff. Something had to be done because you were almost the first team in NBA history had to forfeit games because we had so many injuries. It's like you've never seen this many injuries in NBA basketball in history. You've never seen this many injuries. It's like Jaden Hardy sprained his ankle 4 times, like in 1 year. I've never seen something like that. I just like, what is going on? It's like I just knew something wasn't right with the training staff. And obviously, Nico fired them just because we had so many injuries, and 2, they were probably not training the players right. I don't think they were treating the players right with their training. It's just that's how it was. Hopefully, before the season starts, Nico hires the right training staff going to next year. And I hope they do a better job taking care of the players. And not even just the injuries was hurt us this year. We had guys getting sick. That was also what was going on. These guys were just constantly getting sick. Like Najee Marshall missed a whole week of basketball because he was sick. It's like I've never seen this happen, like a NBA player missing a whole week of basketball because he was sick. And Najee Marshall has been sick a couple times this year, and PJ was getting sick. Kyrie, Quentin Grimes, and then but unfortunately he was traded to Philly. It's like I just never seen this many players sick or hurt, and like in one season, you've never seen something like that. But what I think about Cooper Flag is he's a great player. I haven't watched him too much this year, but now that we're supposed to draft him, I've been watching more of his highlights so I get to know how he is, how his skill level exactly is. But I did watch a clip of Cooper from a game of the NCAA tournament when they played against Baylor in the second round, and man, Cooper Flag is just tough. And he showed up real well against the when he was playing the USA team in a scrimmage. He put up 14 points against the LeBron and AD, and then when he was playing with his college team for USA, it was just like, wow, Cooper Flag's definitely gonna be a good franchise player for the Mavericks, and he's about 6'9". He plays guard and forward, and he plays defense, and he weighs like 225 pounds. That's definitely, I think weighing 225 like that, that's an NBA body. But I still think Cooper Flag needs to put a little more muscle on him going to once he gets drafted to the Dallas Mavericks, and I think Cooper Flag will be a great fit for us. He will be playing along with Kyrie once he comes back, playing with Clay, playing with AD, and then Derek Lively. But they're going to have to trade one of the bigs. They say they're going to have to trade AD or Powell, Lively or Gafford. You already know who we need to trade for Cooper Flag. We need to get rid of Powell. He hasn't even done shit. He don't do shit in Dallas like he used to before he had when he got injured. We need to send Dwight Powell's ass out of here. It's just I'm tired of seeing Powell on this team. He don't do nothing. Even when we had all these guys injured, Dwight Powell didn't do anything. But once Kai Jones came in, he was doing everything. He was averaging 11 points. And then Kai Jones had, I believe 19 points his first game in Dallas when Kyrie tore his ACL. He was like, man, Kai Jones definitely deserves a spot on this team. We definitely got to keep Kai. I mean, if we were to trade Gafford, we definitely have to give maybe a 2-year deal to Kai Jones if we end up losing Gafford or Lively. We have to get Kai Jones if we lose one of them. But I prefer to have all of them three, honestly, and Kai Jones, but we don't know what's going to happen exactly. But speaking of that, I was watching ESPN today. They're talking about if the Mavericks should trade Cooper Flag for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And a couple guys have said yes, including Udonis has some things they should trade him on it. But Kendrick Perkins thinks they shouldn't. And honestly, I agree with Kendrick Perkins, what he said today. I just don't think the Mavericks should trade Cooper Flag for Giannis. I mean, Giannis is aging a little bit. He's 30 years old, but he is a good defensive player. He has been averaging 30 points for the past couple seasons with Milwaukee, and I do agree. And then we'll have to give up more players just for Giannis. And they said if we were to trade for Giannis, we have to give up PJ, Gafford, and Najee Marshall. I just don't know. We just can't do that. We can't trade for all those guys just for Giannis. And Kendrick Perkins also was talking about he doesn't think Giannis wants to come to Dallas. I don't think he does either. I don't think Giannis is opening up to come to the Dallas Mavericks. And I think Giannis wants to stay somewhere in the East. They think Giannis could possibly maybe go to Brooklyn or maybe go to the New York Knicks. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo should go to the New York Knicks. That's where I think Giannis should go. I think his best fit is with the New York Knicks. But if he goes to the Western Conference, I could see him going to the Los Angeles Lakers or maybe going to the Spurs. But if he goes to San Antonio, that's a cheat code right there. Giannis, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and then they supposed to draft and they got the number two draft pick. Yeah, that's definitely a good roster right there, and that's definitely a playoff team right there. And it's just gonna get tougher in the West if Giannis was to come to the San Antonio Spurs or Los Angeles Lakers, or even come to Dallas. But I just don't see Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the Mavericks. Just I wouldn't risk trading him. You have to get rid of all these guys just for him. We can't do that. We can't trade Giannis just for all these guys. And so my prediction for the starting five, and this is my prediction for the starting five before Kyrie comes back, is either going to be, I will say, I would put Brandon Williams at the one. He's the starting point guard. We put Klay Thompson at the two. That's the shooting guard. And then put Cooper Flag at the three. And put Anthony Davis at the four. And then you have either Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively at the five. That's what I think was going to happen for the Mavericks. And then off the bench players, that's if he stays. I have Dante Exum as the backup point guard. Then you got Max Christie at the 7. Then you got P.J. Washington at the 8. And I think P.J. Washington will be great coming off the bench. That would be a great move coming off the bench for P.J. Washington. And then you got Najee Marshall. No, I'll take that back. Najee Marshall will be at the 8. And then P.J. Washington will be at the 9. And then either Gafford or Lively will be like a backup center. So let me start over again. So backup point guard will be, I would say, Dante Exum. Then behind Klay will be Max Christie. Behind Cooper Flag will be Najee Marshall. And then behind AD will be P.J. Washington. And then backup will be either Lively or Gafford. So who knows? I prefer Gafford to come off the bench. I prefer Derek Lively to be a starter, just so Lively can be more experienced, being at the being the starting center. And Derek Lively is definitely the future of the Mavericks team. But anyway, and now there's some other bigger things coming up. The Dallas Wings actually got their first game of the season this Friday night. They take on the Minnesota Lynx. And that's going to be a tough game. I expect it to be a really tough one. And they honestly got a tough schedule coming up, just because this team could be good in the future. And then next week they take on on Monday night, they take on the Seattle Storm, who they have the number 2 draft pick from France. And then next Wednesday night they travel to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Lynx. And then next Saturday afternoon, they take on the Atlanta Dream. And actually, Atlanta Dream ended up trading for Brittany Griner. So I'm excited what's the season's going to be like for the Mavericks and the Dallas Wings. And this is so crazy that the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Wings got the number 1 pick in 1 year. The last time, actually, 2 teams in one city had the number 1 draft pick was 2003, when Cleveland's baseball team, I believe, had the number 1 pick, and then, of course, Cleveland had the number 1 pick, and then, of course, they got LeBron James. This is freaking crazy, but this is what's happening right now. And I do want to talk about what happened from the last preseason game the Dallas Wings had. They actually put up 119 points from this team from Japan. They ended up beating 119-52, I believe. And Paige and Enrique actually did well that game. But again, the bigger test is going to be this Friday night against a very good Minnesota Lynx team, who I believe they went to the finals last year, but they ended up losing to New York Liberty. But New York Liberty is a very, very tough team in the WNBA. But it'll be a while till the Wings could be a title contender team. It's going to be a while till that happens. But I will see you on the next podcast, and hopefully the Wings will win their first game of the season.